Welcome back to Pacific Drive, where you can see our car here. It needs a paint job and some decals, but that's because I added a bunch of stuff. So I wanted to go through everything that I've done and maybe read some logs instead of running into the zone this time because so much has changed. So I researched lead-plated panel, which I now have on the hood, and we have one back here on this rear driver's side panel, but that's all we could afford because we didn't have enough lead. But then we had already researched insulated panel quite a while ago, but we never really had the resources for it. It takes a bunch of plasma. But we did collect a bunch of plasma over the last couple of jaunts into the zone. So we've got insulated panels basically along the front. We already had the insulated doors. We also have an insulated panel here. So, and again, doors on this side as well. And in fact, I managed to make one insulated panel along this passenger side as well. So the only lead-plated panels we have are on this rear driver's side and the hood. We also have this back, the hatchback here is actually a door, so we have an insulated door. All of the insulated doors we've had for quite a while. We do have a limb pulse emitter that could go in place of this steel bumper here, but it was getting beaten up, so I hid it away until we had some putty to fix it. But I researched this cool thing called the matter regenerator, which we can read about right now. Matter regenerator. No, we can't because it doesn't want to tell us. There we go. Ingenious limb technology and advanced spectromechanical acoustics are used to repair car components stored in this station while you're out on a drive. So that does, I guess, what it sounds like because I haven't done it yet. So I threw in a couple of steel panels. This is our limb pulse emitter that I'm hoping will be fixed. This is a steel bumper. This is an insulated door that was in bad shape, and this is one of our off-road tires that was in bad shape. So I've used almost all the space we can to repair stuff. So I'm hoping when we come back from our next journey into the zone, all the stuff will be repaired. Meanwhile, in the transfer trunk, I have 3 more steel panels that are waiting for repair. Although we may be done with steel panels now that we can do both lead and insulated. But those things obviously take substantial resources. Let's see, what else did I research? Oh, right, of course. I researched the side rack, excuse me, the seat rack, and we have one on both sides. I also researched this seat gas tank. So it's called a backseat tank. So now you can see here, the description is, sure, the safest and most interference-free place to put this may be on the back seat, but it sure... But it sure makes the car reek of gasoline. Furthermore, it's somewhat limited in its capacity, being about half the size of a regular tank. Still, maybe you can add even more tanks later. We also... What else did we get? We also got... Oh, that's the seat rack right here. If nobody's going to be using those back seats, you may as well mount something there. This will serve as a solid enough base. Right, so that's... Whoa, hey. Hey now. That was weird. I was hitting tab and it wasn't closing. So, right, so I made another seat rack over here, and we put in the auto parker. Right arm getting tired? Rudimentary weight and motion sensors below the driver's seat will automatically engage and disengage the parking brake. Truly, this is the technology of the future. So I don't know if that will automatically put us into park, or if it puts on the parking brake like when we're sliding down hills or something, because we can still, presumably using control here, we can still engage the parking brake. Oh, it looks like it's on. Really? Nice. Okay, so I guess it's on. Neat. I don't know. I just did all this research and then I hadn't even had a chance to look at it. We still have our turbine here and our lightning rod. And we have our side floodlights and our storage, of course. What else did I research? I think that's all I researched. I'm working on... Yeah, that's all I researched. I'm trying to research as much stuff as we can, but we're now up to the point where we basically need some kind of unstable energy. So now let's go in here. Over the last couple of missions, we have put a bunch of stuff in the fax mates, or excuse me, in the fax machine that we haven't actually read. So here's a message we got, though. Idea for an anomaly petting zoo, highlighting how many of them are docile and even helpful. Call it Friends with Benefits. No, wait. Yeah, that's funny. So we've got SRR meeting minutes that we did read before. Oh no, I didn't want to take them. Where did I put them? How do we read them? Oh. Let's see if we can read them. You know what? Why don't we look in the logbook? frequency file, episodes 1 and 2. So we just listened to these, so I'm not gonna read them a second time. We just heard them. Let me see what else we have. We have anomaly encounters. Anomaly encounters 2. We don't have the first one. That's interesting. I'm nervous saying this because people will say it was whales or dolphins or something, but it wasn't like that. This thing is like some kind of submarine, sleek, thin. This dull light blue color that blends with the water. It looks metallic, but it bends like a worm. It used to stalk us out there, bumping the hull over and over, and then one night I saw it turn west, just under the water, barely disrupting the surface, and it shot away, fast as a torpedo. It's out there somewhere, at sea. We've read that one before. Let's read number 3. We were up on one of the old fire roads doing maintenance on a new gate. Dusk was fast approaching. At first, I thought Carlos had his radio on, but then I realized the sound was much too clear. There were dozens of them, moving like a swarm. They were a deep orange, like embers off a fire. Each one of them made a sound of some sort, like wind chimes, but softer. We sat and watched them for an hour before they suddenly faded out. Never seen anything like it. Anomaly encounters number 5. It was pure nonsense at first. They were often garbled, and the ones we could decipher made no sense. The dates were wrong, and they talked about made-up events. Except they weren't made up, you see. It was the gasoline shortage one I remember first, because it was so accurate. We had exactly that shortage 2 weeks later, down to the gallon. Then there was the lost technician. I thought no one would believe me, but my supervisor and I listened to the one which predicted that Baker Boy being dissolved. He was right on time. But after that, as soon as we had them all deciphered, they stopped. Oh wow, okay. Precognition or something. Theories. We have theories number 5. So, there's these things flying around in the zone at night, and I know for a fact they're all robot owls. The thing is, like real owls, they're all mocking us. The reason they put up these big walls, it's because the owls use a kind of infrasound, that low frequency stuff, and so you don't quite hear it, but it gets into your subconscious. They mock you, and you feel bad about yourself. And you walk around feeling like you should have tried harder to be a baseball player, or that you bought the wrong shoes. So those walls block the infrasound. Thing is, it's actually really tragic because the walls absorb the bad vibes, and then they feel sad themselves. Go on, ask them. Sent by KW. Lab reports. We have 3 of these. Oh, we read this one before, but we can do it again. Initial trials on the remote battery charger have been extremely encouraging. As predicted, the key mitigating factor is distance. We can only charge in close proximity. Our success here, though limited, does suggest a future in which we can make plugs and connectors obsolete. But for now, the devices we charge still need to be nearby. In the short term, we can find applications for roll-on, roll-off battery charging in vehicles, anything from cars to light aircraft, mass proximity charging for handheld devices like radios, and make greater use of larger examples of field portable equipment. However, our ultimate goal still remains to remotely charge a device as far as our line of sight. A car with a flat battery down the road. A cordless power tool half a mile away. Imagine that. Lab Reports 3. I'm delighted to report that the radioactive shielding has been a runaway success. We barely had trace readings inside the landing module, the command module, and the cargo module. We can now confirm that we have created the most radiation-resistant material humanity has ever known. We've shipped the last of the panels and materials back to Arda Engineering for further analysis, but I see no reason why they can't be used again on the next mission. The degradation is minimal. I'm excited to show you the full analysis in person. Can you meet in the Arda cafeteria on Thursday? Lab Report 6. I need your help. Read through the data. Look at the numbers. I've checked every equation, every result. The batteries were consistent, the quality of the materials were pure, and yet, nothing on paper could really truly explain the disparity in the results. The fact is, the materials in Chamber A were exposed for longer than those in Chamber B, despite the experiment running for the same exact amount of time. Please, I beg you, I'm at my wit's end. Help me find an explanation, and hurry. We've already deployed a dozen setups like this. They're already running out in the field. I fear if we don't get ahead of this, it's going to be bad. And now, for a special treat, we have poetry by Tobias B. Number 2. An anomaly came from zone number 1, so ghastly its aspect it made scientists run. But they left it so sad, this unearthly nomad, who's wanted naught but innocent fun. That sounds like one of the happy hairs. What else do we have here? Discarded. Like us.
Remnants are like us in a way. Those of us who chose to stay behind, we are as discarded and forgotten as they are.
And by chose to stay, you mean actively defying government orders to evacuate? Then yes. You remember how we went without electricity for 4 months to dodge the clearing crews? There's, like, what? Only 100 of us left?
If even that. Frankly, I'm surprised so many of us were unable to move on, for one reason or another.
Oh, speak for yourself. I'm here for the hunt. Hey, even better now there's no one to get in our way.
Okay, we can listen to those. Now that I realize that they're tapes, because they look like tapes, we can listen to those while we're driving around. I did just try to put a not car part, in this case the impact hammer, into our battery generator, but they're wise to my tricks. I did remember that I also researched an upgrade for the Tinker Station. So now the Tinker Station has the investigator module installed. You can see it in the upper right-hand corner. So I don't know how we use it, but we can, we can use K-Lim, we can use energy to investigate. So why don't we try that? We'll spend a little bit of K-Lim. V. 3 hints found. Oh, okay, battery. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, let's go to shifter. Oh boy, this is different. And then it takes another 1.5 to get another hint. Shifter. Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I haven't noticed any of these, but these are good hints. So we've got shifter, wipers. Okay, shifter, wipers, and battery. I don't know anything beyond that. So it can help us diagnose, but I don't really know what else to do about that. But let's see if we can get the... let me see if I can find the log for it, though. I'm sure it's in here. Why don't we go look at the Fabra station. So that would have been... That's the battery generator. Oh, it's part of the garage? No. No. This. Investigator module. This upgrade for the Tinker Station will report back to you which elements of a diagnosis are correct. A new chip also has the ability to spend anchor energy to scan the car for abnormalities. Okay, and with that, I'm going to call the episode here because any jaunt into the zone is going to take an awfully long time. So I will be back very soon with another episode. Thank you so much for your viewership and your support and the comments. I love you very much. Please remember, as always, to have your pet spayed or neutered.